Well, hello and welcome back, and thanks for coming back. Where are we? Downtown Peyia. That's where we are, and we're heading back towards Paphos. And there's a Land Cruiser stuck up my bottom because that's the one we've just collected. So stick with us as we head back on the main coastal road from Peyia Coral Bay to Paphos town. I think it's a great trip, a great relaxing road, and you get to see lots of little bits on the way. And as long as you drive carefully and, well, you've got eyes everywhere, isn't it? And you're watching all the lunatics coming at you through all the junctions, perhaps coming at you on the same side as the road of view, you'll be fine. So here we go. Let's get back down to the main coastal road. We're in the banana groves of downtown Peyia, and we've just come from the man's nice villa in those banana groves. And of course we're going to come out just above the Paphos supermarket, which is literally across the road to Coral Bay, and we're going to head back to Paphos. The weather, well, it's a little bit gloomy, as you can see, but one thing's for sure, the sky's still looking blue. The sea, as you can just see it then over those treetops, is still looking rather blue. Mr. Paul, guess what? He's dressed head to toe in blue. So really all it's missing is you. Get yourself on a big bird or a canoe, start paddling like crazy. Paphos Cyprus, Marika and me, we're waiting especially for you. Here we go. This is the main coastal road from Sea Cave, St George area, and of course now we're in Coral Bay. And coming up next on the left-hand side will be the Paphos supermarket. Just before that will be the Coral Bay karting. What's a karting? Karting centre. So if you want to do a bit of go-karting when you're in downtown Paphos, there's a pair of shops here, and right behind that is the Coral Bay karting centre. There it is. It looks closed, but there we go. There's a bit of rain coming down, so I don't think anyone's going to come and practice their skills in the rain. Even though you've got a crash helmet on, you could put a cagoule on, couldn't you? And you could whiz round sideways. Paphos supermarket coming up here. Obviously, there's one or two other shops as well. There's a hair salon, there's the Banana Tree coffee shop, and then that is Paphos supermarket. Probably the best supermarket in the whole of Paphos, possibly the best supermarket in the whole of Cyprus, if you're a foreigner anyway, because they stock literally everything. All sorts of caviars if you're from Russia, they stock baked beans if you're from the UK, and Hellman's mayonnaise and the odd pot noodle, and of course there's all sorts of other bits and bobs in there as well. And you can buy gifts, you can buy clothes, you can buy pool cleaning equipment, you can buy, you've guessed it, you can buy it. It's like a mega store on steroids. Paphos supermarket in downtown Coral Bay. This is the Coral Bay roundabout. If you were to go right there, you go straight to the Coral Bay strip. But like I say, we're going to go straight because we're heading towards Paphos. If you were to go left right here, you'd go up into Peyia village, lower midtown and uptown Peyia, as I call it. Look at that. That's busy traffic, isn't it? You see? The traffic is crescendoing because very soon lunch is a-coming. So people are whizzing around, doing all their bits and bobs, robbing banks, going to supermarkets, going for their haircut, going for a car service, stealing someone's car, whatever they're doing. Because of course they understand that in just over an hour, lunch will be upon us. And that's the time to sit at home or in a restaurant, in a taverna, and chat with your gumbarus, chat with your family and friends, and have a nice relaxed afternoon. After that, well, you know, to be honest, probably the best thing to do is go and do a bit of chuchka dancing on the downtown Quay of Paphos promenade, and then perhaps settle down for tea in the harbour area, and then, well, get a cigar out, do a bit of Romeo and Juliet-ing, perhaps if your name's Sir Martin and there's a girl in your life called Lady Victoria, or if your name's Sir Bernie and there's a girl in your life called Lady Jan, you could do a bit of la-di-daring, because of course they're from Southend, which is down south in London. Yeah, there we go. That's how they talk. Not making fun. That's how he said it to me. Southend. There we are. Now, there's a bit of blueness going on, and on top of that blueness of the blue Mediterranean Sea, there is a little bit of a cappuccino froth, because of course the weather is a-changing. We's in mid-October. The temperature's 27 degrees. It's dropped a little bit, and there's a bit of a breeze coming in off the sea, and there's a rumour going around that we might get some thunderstorms. And we've had one or two, don't get me wrong, but as you can see, if you look at the road, this road is dry. who knows, maybe 20 minutes ago it was damp. But of course the ambient temperature soon gets rid of all of that water. And luckily for me, the car has stayed pretty clean. So luckily for Lady Ali, she can keep her money today. There you go. Or perhaps the front end might walk clean. So quick look, let's look over the bonnet. No, it's looking pretty clean because I hand washed it this morning and I've driven around very carefully because there has been a bit of rain around. Although I've luckily missed it, but of course it's been on the road, so I've driven very, very carefully. I think there's the odd splash up the side, so I'll go and give it a wash after lunch before we go down to the promenade and the harbour area. Now, I'd like to do a big shout out to some of the people that like to watch the show now and again. Of course, the girl in charge of the show, that's Dayman. A very, very good morning. Kalimera to you, all the way in downtown Hartlepool, and hopefully your weather's not too bad. A big shout out to Lady Kerry and of course Sir Tony, they're in downtown Cornwall. And while we're on the note of Cornwall, big shout out to Sir Phil and to Lady Sharon because they're in Cornwall. And a big shout out to the Pen Dance crew. And of course we had the great honour to meet all of them, and of course it was Miss Emma's birthday, and we know she had a great time because we saw her as she was going for lunch, and we saw her again as she was going for her evening meal in the Pelican restaurant. And afterwards they told us they had a great evening indeed. And we thank you for being our superstars, and we thank you for coming over and talking to us. Thank you very, very much indeed. Now, on that note, if you like what you see, hit the like, click that subscribe, and perhaps come back for a little bit more of our complete and utter madness. And while you're at it, why not try and keep this channel afloat? Click through to our About page where you could consider to buy us a coffee on the Buy Me a Coffee platform. If you were to Google Buy Me a Coffee, Marika and me, up will come our landing page. A little bit of information about us, and of course you'll have the opportunity to read some of the comments that other people have left and some of the replies. And of course you can choose to buy us that virtual coffee, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. And of course we do thank you very, very much indeed. The superstar in charge of the show quite recently bought us 10 coffees, and we do thank her from the bottom of our 2 hearts. Most recently is Tracy Collier, Lady Tracy Collier. We thank you from the bottom of our 2 hearts. Of course, Sir John Ricey, we thank you. The Pen Dance crew, we thank you. The list goes on and on and on. Let's let this lady go. I'm quite a courteous driver, and she did give me a nod, so I take that as a thank you. So there we are. Courtesy is not the greatest thing in the world anymore, anywhere in the world, is it? But it never ever existed in Cyprus, I can assure you of that. If you're lucky, you get a grunt. We're in downtown Kasoniga, and the shops galore. Paphos Computers is there. If you want to groom your cat or your dog, there's the House of Paws. You've got a hair salon, you've got the IKEA Gora discount supermarket, there's restaurants, there's hotels. This is a lot of places around here for you to have a great time when you're on holiday. And of course there's lots of hotels, restaurants and apartment complexes to boot. Let's keep going. We're on the coastal road, and we're now in Kasoniga, and we're now heading towards downtown Clorica, and then after that we will head into downtown Paphos. And of course that's where this video will finish. If there's a special video that you want for yourself, perhaps you want me to go somewhere, drop it in the comments, visit the Buy Me a Coffee page, and of course that video will be coming very, very soon for you. Perhaps if you want an anniversary shout out, a birthday shout out, or perhaps you just want me to call your cat in. 1 or 2 coffees and that message will be coming, especially for you, very, very soon indeed. There's some big people there walking along, scantily clad, as you can see. He's in shorts and t-shirts, she's in a summer dress, so that must tell you all you need to know. In the middle of October, 27 degrees. To be honest, the sun is coming out again, and this part of Paphos hasn't seen any rain at all. We are blessed to live in paradise on the island of love. Now, if there's anything that anybody watching wants to know about Paphos, drop it in the comments and I'll do my very, very best to either find out or to let you know if I already know the answer. There's been questions about the smart parking. You've got to have an app downloaded onto your phone for that one, and you can choose to pay as you go, so to speak. I'm not sure what the price is. In some cases only €1, but you only get an hour, and I think in some cases it's €2.50 for 2 or 3 hours. And of course you can actually pay a monthly fee, which I believe at the moment is €25 per month, and of course that goes automatically, so to say, like a direct debit by your mobile phone to the municipality, and of course that allows you to park unlimited in the designated municipality parking zones. But I'll go and find out more about that as time goes on. What else can I tell you about? Speeding. That's the new one in Paphos. They really are taking it very, very seriously, because they understand that speeding in cars, especially in built-up areas, is not a very good idea. It's, well, I don't want to talk about the word death, but, you know, death can occur quite easily, can't it? So the boys in blue are certainly looking for you if you want to speed, but they are very, very lax indeed. The speed limit predominantly in and around Paphos is 50 kilometres an hour. In English money, that's 30 miles an hour. So of course we're all used to driving at that speed legally anyway. But of course in Paphos people like to, what should we say, push it, shall we say. But the boys in blue are quite lax, and they allow you to go to 69 kilometres. So what's that, around about 36 miles, 37 miles an hour before they're going to book you. And of course the speed vans that are parked up are set for the same calibration. So you're allowed to travel around about 35 miles an hour before you're going to get booked. So stick to it, because there's speed vans everywhere, and there are police guys everywhere, and girls. They're looking especially for those guys who are speeding. They also don't like you talking on a mobile phone, by the way, but in general, if you acknowledge them and sort of say sorry and put your mobile phone down, they will ignore you. So that's quite a good thing. They get annoyed when you continue to talk on your mobile phone as they're telling you to put it down, understandably. Then they get you out of the car, strip search you, and put plastic gloves on. So there we go. Don't talk on your mobile phone. Make YouTube videos, as long as it's in a cradle, that's okay, and chops you along, or have your phone on speakerphone or perhaps on hand-free, and then they're fine. What's coming up now? Peyia Electrical. If you want some electrical goods, fridges, freezers, cookers, rampant rabbits, hair shaving equipment, those sort of things, that's where you would go.